Hi, everyone. It's Todd Smith, your member of Provincial Parliament for the Bay of Quinte and Ontario's Minister of Energy, back with another COVID-19 update for the Bay of Quinte region and a look at what's been going on here at Queen's Park over the last week. And we are about to flip the calendar, yes, from November to December, and we're on the home stretch towards Christmas and the end of 2021. And I know there's probably a lot of people that are looking forward to flipping the calendar to 2022, and maybe there are better things in store for us all at that time. But we have been doing quite well in the fight against COVID-19 in the Quinte region and in Ontario. It's quite remarkable, actually, when you compare what's happening in Ontario with other jurisdictions in North America and around the world, and you can see just how well the precautions are working that we have put in place. We've got now almost 90% of the eligible population vaccinated in Ontario with at least one dose, and closing in on 88% with two doses. We have almost 23 million doses of the vaccine administered in Ontario. And the vaccine is clearly working. When you look at what's happening in places like Michigan, and they're having 8,000 new cases a day, and their hospitals are overwhelmed, and they're calling in the military to help out with treating patients in their hospitals, we're doing much better than that. We have 148 in the entire province of Ontario in intensive care beds right now. So that's 148 across the entire province, which means we still have lots of room within our hospitals. We still have lots of room within our ICUs to treat patients should COVID numbers start to spike. But when you consider the fact that we have had, and as of today, 788 new COVID-19 cases in Ontario, 439, so well over half of those in unvaccinated people, and not many of the vaccinated people getting COVID-19 or requiring hospitalization or special treatment. The vaccines are working. And again, lots of opportunity for kids between 5 and 11 now to get the vaccine as well. And if you're a little bit uncertain about whether or not you should get your child the COVID-19 vaccine, if you do have questions that need to be answered for you, there are a couple of great resources. One, ontario.ca/COVID-19 always has information, but a lot of people put their faith in Sick Kids Hospital here in Toronto. And if you want some additional information, there's a website you can go to. It's through Sick Kids, sickkids.ca/vaccine consult. So sickkids.ca/vaccine consult. And you can get the opinions of our top pediatricians and medical officials who work every day with children. They can answer any questions that you may have on whether your child is the right one to get the COVID-19 vaccine or not. So again, just a couple of resources for you. If you haven't booked your vaccine yet, there's still lots of opportunity for you to get your vaccination, and you can do it by the website, ontario.ca/bookvaccine. That's been the vaccine site throughout the pandemic. Or if you don't want to go online, or you can't go online, or you're just not technically sufficient, then you can call the 1-833 number. That's 1-833-943-3900. Again, 1-833-943-3900. You can book your vaccine there. And if you have any questions, there are also people watching for you to call there too. So some new developments on COVID-19 this past week, particularly over the weekend. There has been a lot of concern about the South African variant. And the South African variant is now known around the world by Omicron, Omicron, Omicron. And we did have the Alpha and the Delta variants that made their way into Ontario. Well, we do now have the Omicron vaccine in Ontario. In Canada, there were two cases of Omicron that were detected in patients in Ottawa that came from Nigeria. And so they're testing, they're tracing, the infrastructure is all in place to make sure that we're isolating the Omicron vaccine when it comes into the country. And there have been stepped up calls by the Premier Ford and others for the federal government to step up and make sure that they're banning flights from parts of the world where the South African variant or Omicron have already been detected. to ban those flights. So the federal government has acted, and they have banned flights from southern parts of Africa. Nigeria wasn't initially on the list where these two cases came into Ottawa from, but they are continuing to look at flights coming in from all around the world just to try and stop Omicron at the border. And so we've asked the feds to step up. They are, and that's good news as we continue to monitor. Now, there were some questions in consultations that the Premier had with the Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Kieran Moore, as to whether or not the current round of vaccinations that are out there, the Pfizer, the Moderna, we're not using the AstraZeneca any longer, but the Johnson & Johnson, whether or not they were effective against the new Omicron variant. And there's still some question marks around that, but I think most experts are saying that yes, it is working against the Omicron vaccine, which is great news, because the last thing we want to do is have to start from zero again. So having said all that, that's the latest on COVID-19. Just a couple of other notes to pass along here in my weekly update. If you missed it earlier in the week last week, I was able to get back to Belleville for an afternoon on my house duty day. So thanks to those who covered for me here. I did join Lisa MacLeod, who's our Minister of Heritage, Sport, Tourism, and Culture Industries, for a special announcement at our local Humane Society that is currently being built on Wallbridge Loyalist Road. So that's the Hastings and Prince Edward Humane Society, formerly known as Humane Society of Quinte, or Quinte Humane Society. They've got the brand new build going there, and we announced $240,000, actually $250,000 from her ministry to support the new build there. And things are going along incredibly well at that new facility. Of course, this one was close to my heart. I toured that facility back in 2013 when I was still a fairly new MPP. And one of the things that I really wanted to see was a new Humane Society being built in our region, because if any of you have been there, and I know a lot of you have, it was outdated, and that is an understatement. They really needed a new building there. And I recall back when I visited, the folks from the Intelligencer were there, took a picture of me holding a puppy inside the Humane Society. And on the front page of the Intelligencer the next day, MPP says Humane Society is deplorable. And it really was deplorable. It was time for a change back in 2013. So I'm so happy to see the walls and the roof and the concrete all being poured there at the new facility on Wallbridge Loyalist Road, and look forward to the grand opening in June or July of next year for that new facility. It's not just going to be a great facility for the animals, but a great community facility as well. And that's really where the funding came from. It was for the community and education center that's being built on site. So really pleased to be there, along with Minister MacLeod and Donna Endicott, who's the chair of the board, Marilyn Laurie, who's the executive director, and the chair of the capital portion, Greg Suds from West City Honda, who's been doing a great job in making sure that we're getting that done. And just a couple of quick notes to pass along as well. Robert Rutter, fire chief in Prince Edward County, retiring a couple of weeks ago, and I was really pleased last week on Friday to attend the retirement ceremony of Deputy Fire Chief Don Corbett with Belleville Fire and Emergency Services, and a lot of colleagues from fire departments around the Quinte region joining for that ceremony at Belleville Fire Headquarters, and just a great day. So we wish Don Corbett all the best in his retirement. Everyone stay safe out there as we are continuing to deal with COVID-19 in our community. Stay safe, drive safe, as we've now got some snow and ice on the roads, and we'll talk to you again in 1 week's time. Thanks, everyone.